you can't make a snoring noise if you breathe slowly. Like, it's impossible. The noise comes from speed.
Yeah.
And the speed is the problem, because it's like speeding everything up, keeping you in that stress state that we talked about. So practicing breathing quietly, which in essence is slowly, before you go to bed, will help you with your snoring and help you with your sleep.
Yeah. And again, I think kind of just to sort of summarize a lot of what you've been talking about, Jacko, is that every kind of recovery modality that we talk about, you know, and any of the specialists, experts we get on, oxygen plays a massive role. Circulation plays an even bigger role. Circulation, but one can't exist without the other in many respects, right? Yeah. Is that, you know, you talk about massage, you talk about percussion, you talk about contrast. You know, we hear a lot about, you know, we've got a guest coming on in a few weeks who's going to talk about ice baths and you know, icing, compression, all those different things. So compression, I mentioned one there, all about circulation. It's how do we encourage circulation? And, you know, much like yourself, I had an issue, you know, many years ago, which was all to do with compromised circulation, which is all about how do we encourage it? How do we improve muscle tissue? Active recovery is all about circulation. It's all about how do we get more oxygen traveling through the body, and you know, so all of these things interlink. And I think anybody who's into performance in whatever narrative that performance might take, I think to disregard something like this or dismiss it, which I think is probably the most common thing people do, is crazy. I think you should look into this. You should certainly practice it. Give it a go. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you, right? If it's not something that seems to have much of an effect, hey, what can you do?
Well, the only people that won't have an effect on are those that are already breathing quite well. If you're breathing quite well already, you got no issues. But you'll know that because you'll take your respiratory, you'll take your measure your breaths per minute, and if it's in around 10, and your Bolt score is at 25, you're good. That's great. Crack on.
Yeah, I think that'll be very few people.
Yes, I know. But there will be some.
Because so the market for the people that don't need to do this is anybody who breathes well, which is literally no one. But so if people want to get into this, where's the start point? Because obviously we've talked a lot about stuff and various things and drills, and you know, it was good that you went through a couple with me. You can go away and do those and go, oh yeah, that works. But where do people actually start? You know, what's awareness. The process? You know, and you know, how do they begin this process?
Awareness, and by listening to this conversation, whether you think it's whether you're all on board straight away or you're like a bit awareness, just start to be a little bit aware of how are you breathing throughout the day in various different forms of your day. So when you're lying in bed, what's your breathing like? You know, you can check with your hands, one high, one low. Do you tend to upper chest vertical breathe, or do you tend to breathe from lower down? Are you nasal breathing or your mouth breathing? Do you notice when you're on your computer and you're a bit heightened, do you hold your breath? And you're like, oh, I didn't realize I was doing that. And when I'm washing the dishes, if you're like me, you haven't got a dishwasher, you are the dishwasher. You're like, oh, actually, when I'm doing that, I tend to mouth breathe, or I tend to hold a lot of tension up here. It's just starting to bring your awareness, because your awareness is the key to be able to make, this is nothing to do with breathing. This is just changing anything, having the information, and we can give you loads of more information. Having more information and having the right information is important, but knowing how you currently breathe and what you're currently like is the first step in you being able to then change that. Because if you don't know that actually you're breathing quite poorly, your mouth breathing, upper chest breathing, you're never going to be able to change it.